I think the last thing that I would want is for somebody to just write in, jump in with the positive stuff. Oh, it's never this as bad as you think, or
Ugh.
it's everything's going to get better. Some people have it so much worse.
Did you push record?
Thanks so much for tuning into our second act with Paige and Silka.
For your second act of life. Hey, Silka.
Hi, Paige. Paige, today we want to cover a topic that's very timely, especially as we're talking today. It's the holiday season. Those times, we're supposed to be happy, can be very, very challenging for a variety of reasons. And it's difficult sometimes to figure out how to help someone going through a challenging time when we don't know what to say. Let's talk about that today. How do we help someone going through a challenging time?
So, yeah, and there's within relationships, whether it's your significant other in an intimate relationship, a friendship, a colleague, a sibling, whatever it might be. First of all, you may not even know someone is going through a specific event, but you may notice that they're a little off or they're a little frazzled or maybe they're a little bit more emotional. So we'll start there. So if you notice that someone is showing something different than what they normally do, or they're showing you something that you know something's going on because you know about who they are, it's okay to gently ask, hey, I care about you. Is everything okay? I'm noticing that you might be a little, down or seem overwhelmed or frustrated. Is there something going on? Can I help? What do you need? And that's a nice way without saying, what the F is going on with you? Right? Because that's not going to help anybody. Then you have a situation where you know someone is going through a very difficult time. So I have found in my experience that people are afraid to ask. And when they ask and someone tells you what's going on, then they're like, okay, what do I do with this information? Can we just finish this conversation? Okay, good. Glad I asked. I'm done. I'm good. And that's 1,000 times worse that you could do for someone. So first you have to decide, do you really want to know what they're going through? 2, do you really want to help them and not just say the words, but really care? 3, are you able to go to that emotional place that they need you to go? Those are top 3 things. If you answer yes to all 3, then jump in and ask, how are you doing? I know it's a loaded question. Is there something I can do for you to support what you're going through right now? How can I help you? Even if it's me just sitting here and you crying or getting angry or venting or listening, I can just hold the space and be there for you. If you're someone who's not good at your emotions and being there for another person, then say that to them. Say, well, I'm not the best at holding emotional support, but because I love you and I care about you, I'm going to sit in it with you. So I'll just pause there for a moment and you can tell me what you think about that, Silka.
No, I think that's great, and here's why. It's because I think the last thing that I would want is for somebody to just write in, jump in with the positive stuff. Oh, it's never this as bad as you think, or
Ugh.
it's everything's going to get better. Some people have it so much worse, and
Mhm.
maybe this segment is better focused on what not to do, because I think as while we try to be helpful, we can actually really make the situation worse in that regard.
Yeah, and that's a good comment that you made because really when someone says those type of comments, oh, it could be worse, oh, you're doing better today, or you're trying to focus on the positive, what they're really saying is, I'm uncomfortable that you're not doing well. I'm uncomfortable with my own feelings. I'm uncomfortable because I don't process feeling of bad or emotional strife or sadness or loss or whatever it is. That's typically what people do because they want you to be better so they don't have to deal with it. That's really what goes on. So I think we're saying a couple things in today's segment of here's how you can help and support someone with different verbiage. And here's what not to do with different verbiage. And here, when someone says something to you that really pisses you off, it's about what they can't do themselves and what they're uncomfortable in sitting in. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And the other thing that came up, one thing that really bugs me is I'm not somebody that will reach out. I'm not, because I feel that
Really? I never knew that.
I feel like that's a burden, and I don't want to go there. And I've also found, and I'm digressing a little bit, that sometimes when I do reach out, people are uncomfortable because they don't know me in that space. I'm not somebody they know, so I avoid it, But one of the things that bugs me is if somebody then right away turns it around to what, well, I went through this, and here's what, or a situation that really doesn't relate.
Ah, so I have insight in that one. Because that's a big one, what you just said. And again, it goes back to when someone turns it around, they could do it for a couple different reasons. One is it always has to be about them. If you're connected to that kind of a person where focus has to be on them, and or it could be that they're trying, that is the only way they know how to connect because they don't have the emotional capacity, they don't know the verbiage to use. So they think, oh, well, I know what I can say so I can be there with that person. And meanwhile, someone's going, what the F? That I don't this is about me right now. I'm having a difficult time.
Yeah,
So
can we talk about me just for a minute? If not, that's okay, because I really didn't want to talk about me. So we're laughing about this a little bit, but it's true. You do go through those emotions, and when you're having a tough time anyway, now it's almost like you're dealing with the person trying to help you. So not just focus on the negative as I am right now. What is then, as you started, Paige, the best way to connect and get somebody, some help or some support that they need?
well, I'll just recap because that's really what we're trying to do is first of all, you have to know yourself first. Are you good at sitting in the emotional stuff with someone? If you are, then you'll be better at it. If you're not, tell that to someone. I'm not the best at sitting in the emotional stuff, but because I care about you and love you, I'm going to be here and help you however you want, in the way that I can for you. That's a real big thing. If you're good at sitting in the emotional stuff, then ask someone, look, I know that you're a private person. I just want you to know that I feel like there's something going on. And if there is, I'm here to help. I'm here to support. I'm here to listen. I'm here to give suggestions. I'm here to do whatever you need to do because I care about you and I love you.
Yeah. Well, Paige, we're starting to come to the end of the segment, and maybe let's just turn it around for a moment. This is about how to help someone, but what if you are somebody who won't ask for help? How do you have some tips as we close on asking for help?
You know, that's a big thing. Sometimes people will drop little hints verbally. So the other person needs to be aware and pay attention to what the person is dropping with the hints. So if you feel like you want to drop some hints, go ahead. If you feel more comfortable sending an email, send an email as to, I'm not the best at reaching out. I'm having a tough time. Do you think you can call me or email, or could I speak to you about something? Again, I'm uncomfortable about this, or you send it in a text because sometimes it's easier to write it
Hmm.
or text it, than say it. And maybe you're someone who wants the help, but you don't want to talk about it. And you can say, can we just email? Can we just text right now? I'm not in that space. So it really goes back to defining what you need, how to reach out and ask. And if you're going to reach out to somebody, you have to make sure that the person you reach out to is someone who's going to be able to be there for you. Because if you reach out to someone who doesn't have the capacity, it's just going to draw you within and you're going to feel more lonely and you're going to feel more isolated and you're going to feel more upset.
Yeah.
We could
Well,
do a whole lot, like a series on this. There's so much here. We're trying to pack as much in to help people right now.
yeah. Well, and the whole purpose of this was because you and I both, again, being in the holiday space right now,
Yeah.
are dealing with people who are lonely, who are going through hard times, and it is intensified. And we hope that a few of what we said today, something hit and will help you. Anything else you want to say?
No, just know that reaching out sometimes can be really hard because sometimes when we reach out, we think, is someone going to laugh? Are they not going to think it's serious? Are they not going to understand what you're going through? And that's why it's really important to just let somebody know you might not understand what I'm going through, but I just need to vent, or I just need someone to give me a hug, or I just need someone to at least be there to hold the space so I'm not so alone. So, and just know everybody's always going through something.
Exactly. Paige, thank you for the advice today, and we'll see you next time on Our Second Act with Paige and Silka.
For your second act of life.
Bye bye.
Bye.
If you have an idea for topics or an interest in a topic that you would like to hear us cover, please visit our website. We have a suggestion box in the upper right hand corner. Just click on that, drop us a line. We'd love to hear what concerns you. See you next time.